A man who claimed to have captured images of multidimensional beings shared his findings on social media, only for his account to be mysteriously deleted shortly after. According to him, under specific conditions, it is possible to take photographs of these elusive entities, which are otherwise invisible to the human eye. His images showed ethereal forms with elongated limbs, shimmering auras, and varying levels of translucency, leading many to believe that he had uncovered something extraordinary. The sudden removal of his account raised suspicion among those who followed his research, fueling speculation that a cover-up was taking place. The idea that cameras can capture what the human eye cannot is not a new concept. Many researchers believe that under certain frequencies of electromagnetic energy, cameras are able to detect entities that exist beyond our normal perception. These beings are theorized to interact with energy fields in ways that allow them to become momentarily visible to digital sensors. This phenomenon has led to numerous claims that cameras, particularly those with infrared and ultraviolet capabilities, have inadvertently documented the existence of multidimensional life forms. The photographs uploaded by the man revealed peculiar figures appearing in places where no known life forms should exist. Some of the images depicted humanoid shapes with elongated limbs and distorted proportions, while others showed figures that seemed to be made of pure energy, pulsating with an otherworldly glow. Some individuals who analyzed these photographs suggested that the beings could be shifting between dimensions, momentarily becoming visible as they crossed the energetic threshold between their realm and ours. Researchers who have studied this phenomenon believe that these beings exist in a reality parallel to our own, but resonate at a different frequency. This means that, although they occupy the same space as us, they remain unseen because our senses are not attuned to their vibrational state. However, modern technology, specifically digital cameras and electromagnetic frequency detectors, may be capable of momentarily bridging this gap, allowing glimpses into their world. The implications of this are profound, suggesting that our universe is far more complex than previously imagined, and that we may be coexisting with intelligences beyond our comprehension. Shortly after these images were made public, the man's social media accounts were suddenly removed without warning. His posts, comments, and all traces of his findings were erased, as if they had never existed. Those who had followed his work closely saw this as a clear indication that someone or some organization did not want this information to spread. The abrupt deletion of his content led to widespread speculation about whether authorities were actively monitoring and suppressing information related to multidimensional beings. Many suspected that government agencies or private organizations had intervened to prevent further discussion or dissemination of the images. The possibility of a cover-up raises many questions. If these beings are real, who else knows about them? Have they been studied in secret? And if so, what has been discovered? The idea that governments or intelligence agencies are aware of multidimensional entities but are keeping this knowledge hidden from the public is a theory that has persisted for decades. Some believe that these beings may be ancient watchers, observing humanity from beyond the veil of our physical world. Others think they may be guiding forces, influencing events in ways that we do not yet understand. The scientific community remains divided on this issue. While some researchers are open to the idea of alternate dimensions and beings that exist beyond our perception, others dismiss the claims as mere optical illusions or digital artifacts. However, those who have personally examined such images argue that there is a consistency in the way these beings appear. The frequency at which they manifest, the strange distortions in their forms, and their interactions with electromagnetic energy all suggest a pattern that cannot simply be explained away. Some experts have pointed out that this discovery is reminiscent of historical accounts of unseen entities interacting with humans. Throughout history, ancient cultures have described encounters with beings that existed in parallel realities, from spirits and shadow people to angels and supernatural guardians. Could these multidimensional beings be the same entities that have been documented in folklore and religious texts for centuries? If so, the implications of their existence would be even more profound. Despite the skepticism, the number of people who claim to have encountered these beings is growing. Some report seeing them in moments of deep meditation or altered states of consciousness, while others claim to have witnessed them appearing momentarily before vanishing. There have even been accounts of individuals who say they have communicated with these entities through dream states or other forms of extrasensory perception. The man who uploaded his photographs may have been one of the few to provide tangible evidence of their presence, which would explain why his findings were so quickly suppressed. The deletion of his account has only made people more determined to uncover the truth. Many have since begun conducting their own experiments, using high-frequency cameras and electromagnetic sensors to try and capture similar images. Some claim to have succeeded, producing eerily similar photographs of strange figures lurking in the background, just out of reach. These findings continue to be debated, but they reinforce the idea that there is more to reality than what we can perceive with our limited senses. The mystery surrounding these multidimensional beings remains unsolved, but one thing is certain: if they are real, they challenge everything we think we know about the nature of existence. The suppression of information only serves to fuel curiosity and drive more individuals to seek answers. Whether these entities are merely passing through our dimension or have a vested interest in humanity remains unclear. What is clear, however, is that their presence, captured in these haunting images, suggests that the boundaries between worlds are thinner than we ever imagined. Interestingly, many who have taken DMT have reported encountering mysterious entities. DMT is a naturally occurring psychedelic compound known for inducing profound and otherworldly experiences. Those who take DMT often describe being transported to an entirely new realm, where they encounter multidimensional beings with intelligence, purpose, and an eerie sense of autonomy. These experiences are reported with such consistency across different cultures and belief systems that they have become one of the most fascinating and mysterious aspects of DMT. Many people claim that DMT does not simply create hallucinations, but rather unlocks a hidden dimension where these entities reside. The question remains, why do so many users report similar encounters, and what does this reveal about the nature of reality? DMT is found in a variety of plants and animals, including humans. As a tryptamine, it is chemically related to serotonin, a crucial neurotransmitter that regulates perception, cognition, and mood. When ingested, DMT binds to serotonin receptors in the brain, and the rapid binding process creates an intense but short-lived trip, during which users describe experiencing vivid colors, geometric patterns, and the sensation of breaking through into an entirely different dimension. This is where the phenomenon of encountering beings comes into play. One of the most remarkable aspects of the DMT experience is the frequent reports of contact with intelligent entities. These beings, often described as machine elves, aliens, or even divine guides, appear to communicate with the user in ways that seem far too complex to be random hallucinations. Some entities are playful and curious, while others exude wisdom and seem to be guiding the individual through an unknown dimension. What makes these reports so perplexing is that people from vastly different backgrounds and belief systems all seem to encounter the same types of beings. One possible explanation for these encounters is that they are projections of the human subconscious. The brain is a pattern recognition machine, and under the influence of DMT, it may generate complex and coherent visuals to make sense of the overwhelming flood of sensory input. In this state, the mind may form beings that act as guides or interpreters, giving shape to what would otherwise be an incomprehensible experience. The appearance of these entities could be influenced by deep-seated archetypes within the collective unconscious, as proposed by Carl Jung. These archetypes manifest in myths, religious experiences, and dreams, suggesting that DMT might bring them to the surface. Another compelling theory is that DMT allows access to dimensions beyond ordinary human perception. Those who advocate for this view suggest that DMT acts as a key, unlocking the brain's ability to perceive frequencies or layers of reality that exist beyond normal consciousness. According to this theory, the entities encountered during a DMT trip are not hallucinations, but actual beings residing in these dimensions. The idea that multiple dimensions exist is not far-fetched. Even mainstream physics acknowledges the possibility of higher dimensions through string theory. Some users report that the beings they encounter impart profound knowledge or cryptic messages, further fueling speculation that they exist independently of human imagination. These interactions often feel so real and structured that those who experience them struggle to dismiss them as mere hallucinations. The intelligence and autonomy of these entities lead many to believe they are interacting with real, conscious beings rather than fragments of their own minds. There is also the possibility that DMT opens a gateway to what ancient traditions have long called the spirit world. Many indigenous cultures have used DMT-containing plants in sacred ceremonies to communicate with spirits, ancestors, and otherworldly beings. The idea that shamans have been accessing these realms for centuries through the use of entheogens suggests that these experiences may not be unique to modern psychedelic users, but are instead part of a long-standing tradition of spiritual exploration. Some argue that all of these experiences can be explained through neuroscience. The brain, when subjected to the powerful effects of DMT, may enter a state where it perceives patterns and structures that do not exist in the external world. However, if these encounters were simply the result of the brain's misinterpretation of random signals, why do so many people report seeing the same types of beings? If DMT does indeed open a doorway to another dimension, as many users believe, the implications are profound. This would suggest that the universe is far more complex than we currently understand, and that multiple layers of reality or existence might be interwoven with our own. The entities encountered during DMT trips could be part of an entirely different dimension that interacts with our reality in ways that are currently beyond scientific understanding. Some theorists have drawn parallels between DMT experiences and ancient mystical traditions. In many cultures, shamans and mystics describe accessing hidden realms and encountering spirits, gods, or other beings that exist beyond the material world. These experiences, often induced through ritualistic use of psychedelics or other mind-altering practices, bear striking similarities to modern DMT trips. The idea that these other dimensions have been part of human consciousness for millennia, only accessible through altered states, is both intriguing and challenging. For scientists and philosophers, the question of whether DMT truly allows access to another dimension or simply creates the illusion of such is still open. The experiences are subjective and difficult to measure objectively, making them challenging to study within the framework of traditional science. However, the consistency and intensity of these encounters continue to inspire curiosity and debate. The experiences of individuals who encounter entities during DMT trips, coupled with the theory that they may be transported to other dimensions, call for more extensive scientific investigation. While these experiences are often dismissed as mere hallucinations by skeptics, their consistency, intensity, and the profound impact they have on users suggest that they may reveal deeper truths about the human mind, consciousness, and even the nature of reality itself. With the right research, DMT could serve as a key to unlocking greater understanding, not just of our own brains, but of the universe and our place within it. Despite the profound nature of DMT experiences, research into the compound has been limited, partly due to the legal restrictions surrounding psychedelic substances. At the core of this research should be the attempt to understand what happens in the brain during a DMT experience. Advanced neuroimaging technologies, such as fMRI and EEG, have the potential to shed light on how DMT affects brain function, specifically in areas related to perception, cognition, and the processing of sensory information.